welcome to the Cookie Project. This is a Destiny fangame in which you run a tiny bakery in the Lost City. However, one day during the busy holiday season, an awoken warlock by the name of Cepheus comes and asks you for your help. Let's get started. Hi, this game was solely developed by Venade for Winter VN Jam 2023. In this game, you can befriend or flirt with Cepheus. Flirting dialogue options show a heart. Flirting in the first section will determine friendship or romance endings, and you'll have a chance to change your mind early on. Hooray! Here's my name. Ooh, I can choose. Good old human. Ethereal wants humans transformed by the clash of light and dark energy. Human souls in robotic bodies. I think I'm gonna go with human only because I feel like the pairing between a human and awoken is kinda hot. You're a human, living in the last city on Earth. Oh, the background's so cute. Thank you, and we hope you enjoyed the treats. Happy dawning! With that, the last customer of the day steps out of the door, and I breathe a sigh of contented relief. The dawning is always a busy time for my little bakery, and I'm glad for the steady stream of customers eager to buy our holiday desserts. I look to the counter behind me to check the time. As I do so, the telltale jingle of the doorbell announces a new arrival. Oh, he's so cute! Hi, Cepheus. You come here often. Oh, sorry, we were just about to... I lock eyes with the visitor as I turn around. He looks so desperate that the words die on my lips. Oh, he's so cute. I feel like I'm kind of in the way though. I'm gonna move myself. Ah! That's moving the game. Come over here. Get out of the way. His purple skin and luminous blue eyes mark him as an awoken. I've seen a handful of them around, but most of them don't live in the lost city. We were about to close, but is there anything I can help you with before that? He straightens with a look of relief and gives me a sheepish smile. I really appreciate that. I won't take up much of your time. I'm Cepheus. This is my ghost, Four. Look at Four's little antlers. A small orb floating at his side looks at me curiously. A ghost, huh? If I'm remembering right, they're basically battle partners for guardians, immortals with special powers. Their ghosts heal them and revive them when they die and stuff. I do see the occasional guardian around the city, but they're mostly cooped up in the tower or off fighting the enemies of humanity. And you are? Oh, I'm Yinny. I'm the owner and main baker at the shop. Perfect, I'm actually looking for guidance from a baker. He holds up a strange contraption he's carrying. It's an unusually small oven of some kind, with a baking tray inside and some tiny scorch logs in the bottom. I was entrusted with this oven for baking dawning cookies, but, my attempts have led to burnt atrocities unfit for consumption. He places a strange device on the counter in front of me, and I take a closer look at it. You can actually make real cookies with this tiny thing. What kind of sorcery is this? Do you have any idea of what might be wrong with it? Good question. Well, it's not a mechanical issue, it's just a user error. Wrong combinations of ingredients always lead to burnt cookies. So, you just need the right combination of ingredients, huh? Sounds easy enough. I know you must be incredibly busy at this time of the year, but I really appreciate your help with figuring this out. Of course, I'd be more than willing to pay in glimmer for your time. With a face like that, paying me in your company's enough. He barely reacts to my half-assed flirt. The ghost stifles a small laugh though. Thanks for your help, Yinny. I'll be back tomorrow around this time if that works for you. I'll bring the ingredients and the recipe details, so don't worry about that. Sounds good to me. See you tomorrow then. Yeah, hot date. Cepheus picks up the oven and gives me a small wave before he and Four slip out the door. I move to lock it behind them, flipping the open sign to closed. Tomorrow might be interesting. Hehe. Wednesday. It's a Wednesday, my dudes. Another busy day in the books. I can't help constantly glancing at the clock as I finish cleaning up. I've already flipped the store sign to closed, admittedly a bit earlier than usual. As hectic as it is these days, I can still afford to take some time for myself here and there, right? Okay, I know that's just an excuse. I'm seriously excited to see how Cepheus' oven works. And it's not every day I have a guardian asking me for help with something, even if it's just baking cookies. The door chimes ring, and right on time, Cepheus arrives, empty-handed. Hey, Yinny. Hey, did you have a change of plans today? Oh no, it's just a little treacherous out there with the snow. So Four will transmat the ingredients in the oven here just to be safe. He misjudged how deep the snow was and fell down a hill. Thank you for that unnecessary detail. Look at him blush. God, I love when men blush. The idea of the man before me, in all his relaxed, elegant poise, falling down a hill is both oddly endearing and comical. Moving on, should we get started then? You can tell that his titties are hefty. Ahem. Sure, kitchen is back that way. I lead the way through the staff door to the kitchen. You can put the stuff right there, over on the empty table. 4 floats over to the center of the room, and in a brief flash, the oven and various canisters of ingredients materialize on the table. What is Vex milk? Wasn't Vex one of the races that you could choose in the beginning? Oh boy. Who needs multiple trips for your grocery bags? When you can rely on that trick, I'm jealous. Awesome, you have the recipes? Cepheus pulls a stack of index cards out of his pockets, his lips curving into a frown. Shit, they must have gotten wet from when you fell down the hill and into that snowbank. It takes all my energy to keep a straight face. Can I see? Cepheus hands me the stack of still damp cards. Yalla Doodles, Zarala. Delicious Explosion, plus Ether, plus something starting with carbon oil, I think. Is this your writing? Can't you just remember what you wrote? No, they're recipe suggestions from someone I know. She's like everyone's grandma. It's her oven, actually. She encouraged me to make some cookies for people in my life, so I'm trying. That's sweet of you. It's nothing really. It takes my mind off the other things I'm asked to do. Sweet and humble. I count the recipe cards out. 4 cards. Anyone you want to start with in particular? The first one. The recipe is for one of my Vanguard commanders, a man named Zavala. I look at the card he's referring to. Yalla Doodles. Let's see. Delicious Explosion is visible, but the other ingredient is blurred out. What is Delicious Explosion, actually? Cepheus holds up a canister of what looks like yellow and red candied stars. They seem more like decorations than food, but they do look like small explosions. Upon closer inspection of the other ingredient canisters, their contents are equally bizarre. Splinter-like shards of glass, a peculiar, milky substance radiating light. Each is stranger than the next. Where did you even get these? Milk to Vex, that's where he got them. Trust me, you don't want to know. I really do, but maybe I'm better off not knowing. And you're sure these ingredients aren't the reason your cookies are turning out badly? I'm not one to argue with old Eva. She says they work. Bring on the science experiment then. I examine the blurred word on the index card. Let's go with the ether cane. Good guess. I think it's ether cane too. Now I guess we make up the cookie dough the usual way and add the special ingredients. Exactly. I'll have to rely on your knowledge of baking ingredient properties. I know these are a little unusual, but your experience as a baker will be valuable, I'm sure. They do resemble some ordinary ingredients I work with. We can make different batches to test different amounts of each ingredient. Oh boy, sounds like a plan. We set about preparing the basic dough for the cookies. This part comes pretty naturally to me, considering it's my job. Oh, look at him with his little mixing bowl. I notice that Cepheus measures ingredients with careful precision and takes detailed notes on a datapad. You're pretty meticulous with measuring, Cepheus. Just Sephus Fangame. Nickname basis already? And yes, I approach cooking pretty analytically. It's a formula to me. Isn't it the same for you? Personally, as someone who is Asian, I just add enough ingredients until my ancestors tap me on the shoulder and be like, that's enough, stop before you bring dishonor to your family. But, you know, recipes work as well sometimes. Nah, it's a lot of instinct and just having a vibe for how much of ingredient I need. Yeah, this one. Maybe it's the fact that I'm a warlock then. Among all the guardians, we do have his reputation for being the straight-laced bookish types. I kind of assume you guardians had your meals and stuff provided for. I never thought you'd have to cook for yourselves. You're not wrong, but I think it's still an important skill to have. Not all guardians live in the tower. Our jobs regularly take us to places where you have to provide for yourself. And rations aren't great. Makes sense. I put the first tray worth of cookie experiments in the small oven and managed to set the baking time with a combination of buttons along the top. I can see the small logs inside begin to glow. All that's left to do now is to wait for each batch of cookies to bake. Then, we'll have an answer for the right combination type of ingredients for this particular cookie. Meanwhile, diligent as he is, Seth has already beaten me to the undesirable task of washing the mixing bowls and oh my god, a man after my own heart. I love cooking so much, but I hate washing up. Guess I'll start tidying up the leftover ingredients then. As carefully as I close and move the canisters, my gaze falls on the bowl of leftover cookie dough. Curiosity gets the better of me. So, these ingredients, are they actually edible? Are they magic? 4 pops up beside me suddenly. We have it on good authority from a shady basement-dwelling conman that these are ingredients fit for consumption, yes. Fit for Guardian consumption. Most of these ingredients haven't been assessed for regular civilian consumption. Oh, you mean I can't drink the Vex milk? I wouldn't risk it, Yinny, but what if I wanted to chug the Vex milk? Fine. Technically, he's right. What could possibly go wrong? Cookie dough is cookie dough. With Seph at the other side of the kitchen, I might as well be unattended with the raw dough. Taste the dough. Don't taste the dough. Okay. Let me just save here. Maybe I'll taste the dough this time and see what happens. Game over. That can't be good for your health. Don't worry, it's not a real bad end. Let's give that one more try. That's what I get for sticking my fingers where they don't belong. That could have gone pretty badly. Yinny, you didn't try the dough, did you? I looked over and you were staring into space. Ooh, what if I, play as an Awoken next time, and then I try the dough? Oh, no, I think I saw my life flash before my eyes. What did I say? I won't eat the forbidden cookie dough. Good. With the potential danger to my life averted, I set about wiping down the table and putting ingredients away. So, how did you end up owning your own bakery anyway? Oh, after I used to work for the owner Eduardo after the Red War, well, I inherited his shop. My condolences. A lot of good people were lost in that war. The faraway, pained look in his eyes catches me off guard. Wait, no, the old man's still alive and well. He just decided he didn't want to spend the rest of his days in a hot kitchen. He retired to teach couples dance classes to the hipsters downtown. Seph laughs at that, the sound filling the kitchen and bringing a smile to my own face for some reason. He's so cute. That's good to hear. Very generous of him to do too. Yeah, it really was. A moment of silence passes between us, as if he's considering how to ask his next question. Do you like it? Running this bakery? You never felt like inheriting the shop forced you to stick around in this particular place? Well, it was a lot more work than I anticipated, for sure. Owning a bakery does come with a lot of duties that aren't baking. Things like ordering ingredients, worrying about profit margins and payroll, not to mention the late nights and early mornings. I could sell it if I could sell it if I really wanted to, but no, I enjoy it. Besides, it lets me meet handsome strangers in need of my help. Handsome, huh? Uh-huh. Yinny was talking about me, obviously. Yes, I was. Look at that look. I just noticed that 4 has a singular little eyebrow above their head. Always keeping me humble, aren't you? I can't let all of Yinny's flattery go to your head. Kiss me, Cepheus. Well, for what it's worth, I appreciate it. He's a neck blusher, kiss me, Cepheus. Cute. I look at the clock on the wall. The last batch of cookies is nearly done baking, but it looks like this might take longer than I expected for each recipe. For the other recipes, Seph cuts me off with a shake of his head and a smile. Don't worry about them. Thanks to your help, I think I can probably manage. This took quite a bit longer than expected today, and I've already taken enough of your time. Oh, hold on. I was going to say that we can work through them over the next few days if you wanted. When were you planning to gift them? The last day of dawning is Saturday, so as long as they all reach their intended recipients by then. But are you sure? That's a lot of time to spend with me. Oh my god, don't worry about it, gorgeous. You say that like it's a bad thing. It was fun today. I'm sure we'll have all of your recipes figured out by the end of Friday, no sweat. That's really nice of you, Yinny. I owe you one. And Glimmer. The timer goes off for the final batch of cookies. As I remove them from the hot oven, I examine them closely. Aww. They look like ordinary cookies after all, golden brown in texture, faintly smelling of cinnamon and sugar. The last batch is probably the best one too. Seph's face lights up with a pleased smile at the sight of them. These are perfect. Hopefully Zavala will like them. 4 materializes some packaging, and I help Seph put the cookies away. I'm sure he'd appreciate any gift from you, Seph. You're right, but if I'm giving him food, I'd still like it to be edible at least. The bar's pretty low. 4 transmits teleports magics away the ingredients and oven, and I lead the 2 of them back to the front of the shop. I unlock the shop door, and am immediately met with a gust of frosty night air. Have a good night, Yinny. I'll see you tomorrow. See you then. Seph steps out into the snow, but 4 lingers for a moment, even after the door closes. Hey Yinny, I wanted to chat real quick. Oh no, am I getting the shovel talk from his little robot? I've been watching and wondering. You've been pretty flirty with Cepheus. Are you hitting on him? You can be honest. I totally am. It's true that I've been flirting with him at every opportunity, I just can't help it. And the fact that he reciprocates makes me feel hopeful somehow. For what? I'm not sure. I thought so. You know, if you don't have anything else going on, why didn't you ask him to stick around for coffee? I worry about him sometimes. He spends most of his time with other guardians. So, it would be nice to see him make some normal friends or whatever it is you two are developing. Well, I assume you're normal, anyway. You did almost die eating cookie dough. Ignoring his insult for a sec, I just realized that I don't even know if Seth is single or not. I open my mouth to ask, but 4 apparently reads my mind and cuts me off. No, he's not seeing anyone and hasn't been for a long time. So yes, he's single, ready to mingle, down to I am also DTF for Seth. Oh, he's summoning me. Gotta go. Well, good to know. And with that, he teleports away without even needing to use the door. I had no idea he could do that. Tis Thursday. Cepheus arrives a bit earlier than I expect today. I'm still ringing up a few customers when I see him enter. He gives me an acknowledging smile before he seats himself at the far side of the bakery. Enjoy the treats and happy dawning! I smile at the departing customer and return to the next one in line. As I listen to their order, I can't help but notice the other customers taking peeks at Seth. He's too busy talking with 4 to notice. Or maybe he's just used to it. Guardians always attract attention. And Seth is handsome to boot. I fully understand their desire to ogle him. So cute. Right? I wish I had one. I bet they make fun pets. Oh, so it was 4. I bite back a laugh and accidentally lock eyes with Seth. He angles his head questioningly, eyebrow raised. I just smile, diverting my gaze to the customer in front of me. I finally decided. The chocolate croissant, please. Of course. What feels like an eternity later, all the stragglers have left and I can finally drop my customer service facade. Immediately, I feel the exhaustion set in, but seeing Seth's smile fills me with a bit of renewed energy. You're running this place all by yourself? Oh, no, that would be crazy. I have employees who handle the night shift prep and another who works here in the morning. I could always use another hand around the shop, but it's hard to find good help. Seems like everyone's fighting over the limited hiring pool right now. I wish I could help somehow, if only I weren't so tied up with Vanguard business. I wouldn't say no to a good-looking cashier. You bring in a lot of good customers. Well then, it would be unethical of you to hit on me, boss, and I miss that. Oh my god, Seth! Did 4 tell him that I'm attracted to him? I gaped at him silently, caught off guard by his directness. Anyway, you're here earlier than usual. I finished my meetings a little early, so I thought I'd drop by and enjoy your bakery ambience. I hope I didn't distract you. You're very distracting. I'm sure he knows full well how distracting he is. You're always welcome here. Let me just wrap up real quick. Feel free to go ahead to the kitchen. Sure thing, boss. I'd forgotten the sign on the door. Seth flips it to closed without me even mentioning it. Man, it would really be nice to have him as an employee. How hard would it be to talk a guardian out of their duties? I wonder how much the Vanguard pays them anyway. I'm still distracted by that thought as I join Seth and 4 in the kitchen. They've already laid out the ingredients and Seth is closely examining the recipe cards. We could have avoided this extra hassle if Eva had used a datapad. I don't know why she insists on using these cards. I like them. Writing things down like this is kinda quaint and personal. Well, if you say so, sounds like an archiving nightmare. Oh, it is. Normal people aren't exposing their precious handwritten recipes to the elements, Cepheus. Accidents can still happen in the kitchen, and you need to let that go. I fell 1 time. Yeah, let's get on with the cookies already. Traveler donut holes. I see cabal oil. Traveler donut holes. These aren't even cookies. I guess Eva wanted to add a little variety. It should be fine. I can easily make some donut holes. I expect no less from renowned baker Yinny. Flatterer. I think I have an idea what this says, but what do you think? This one. Cabal oil looks right to me too. Cabal oil it is then. I'm not going to question how this oven is able to cook donuts when usually they go in a fryer or a skillet. I'll just have to trust in the obvious magic that this device employs. It looks like a little TARDIS. Maybe I treat it like baking bread. Wait. Seth? What's up? Is there a reason you're using this oven specifically to bake your cookies? It might be easier to, use my facilities. Yeah, use my other facilities if you know what I mean, ayo. Ahem. I gesture vaguely at the industrial kitchen we happen to be standing in. He chuckles, like I've just asked him an incredibly obvious question. As generous of an offer that is, Eva's oven is just special, so it kinda just works. Well, you can't just say that kind of mystical statement without elaborating. Is it enchanted? Is she a guardian too? I never considered that little old ladies could be guardians. She's not. She's a normal civilian human. Like you. Maybe I'll mention your bakery to her. I'm sure she'd love to drop by. Well, that doesn't explain much about the oven. Maybe it's golden age technology. Look, it's little old lady magic. Don't think too hard about it. You'll get a headache. Although I hate to admit it, Floor's probably right. I'll just focus on what I know best. Baking stuff. Flour, sugar, salt, baking powder, whisk, milk, butter, wet ingredients until they're dry. Once we prepare the dough with the viscous red cabal oil, it really looks no different than normal donut dough. What, you're not going to try to taste it today? I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. Before long, the donut holes are ready to be baked. I'm still not sure about placing them in the oven as is, but if Seth says they'll work, I'll believe him. While I'm doing that, he manages to beat me to the dishwashing again. You can leave that to me, right? I can handle some dishes. I may be hiring you for your help, but I have manners, Well, I'm not one to talk you out of it if you want to do it that badly. I appreciate the help. If anything, gives me extra time for something else. A second cookie project. With no weird ingredients to worry about, the preparation takes me no time at all. I slip the cookies into one of the full-size ovens and set the time. Cleanup is all that's left to do, and it's comfortably quiet as Seth washes and I put things away. The smell that fills the kitchen is so divine that I'm reminded of why I love being a baker. The small oven's timer goes off first. I carefully take the tray out with my oven mitts. Oh, they're so cute! Against all odds, the shape remains spherical and they look fully baked. They're soft and spongy with a firm outer layer, a light coating of powdered sugar, and they're perfect. Traveler donut holes for Ikora. I don't know how Eva comes up with these, but they look great. As we finish packaging them up, my other cookies finish baking as well. Do you have a lot of baking to do for tomorrow? I can stick around to help for a bit. Oh my god, please. I appreciate that, Seth, but no, my employees will handle that. These aren't for tomorrow. I thought it might be nice to have some. Normal is probably an offensive word here, right? So would edible... do you want to stay for a cup of coffee and cookies? If you have time? No pressure. Every millisecond of silence feels like an eternity to me. It's going to be so awkward if he says no. A cup of coffee? That's not double entendre for something else, is it? Would you like to stay forever? Would you like to stay in my bed? If you want it to be. Well, that would depend on how good the coffee is. You confident? No, but you bet I'm going to try my best now. Jokes aside, I'm happy to stick around for a little longer. You handsome jerk, I wasn't joking. Coffee and cookies it is then. Seth is seated at one of the tables while I wait for the coffee to brew behind the counter. You're gonna have to temper your expectations here. This is a bakery, not a coffee shop, so my coffee is merely acceptable. He just laughs. I'm sure you more than make up for it with your baking skills. What kind of cookies did you make anyway? I place the plate of freshly baked cookies on the table in front of him. They're still warm. My favorites. Oh my god, I love biscotti. Now that's an uncommon answer. A good one though. I'm glad you agree. His amused reaction to my enthusiastic reply makes me pause. Are you psychoanalyzing my cookie preferences, Cepheus? He feigns surprise at the suggestion, but a smile tugs at his lips. Me? No, I just wanted to get to know you a bit better. I'm too distracted by the coffee being done to discern the truthfulness of that statement. Oh my god, he's so cute. I join Seth at the table with the tray containing the coffee pot and 2 mugs. He proceeds to add a meager amount of sugar and cream to his coffee. He must not have much of a sweet tooth. He gives me an appraising glance from across the table. What? It's just, your coffee seems fine. I'm a bit disappointed even. I was starting to anticipate trying a bad cup. Hey, I never said it was bad, I said merely acceptable. Pay attention. Seth laughs at that. You're beginning to sound like 4 now. Speaking of the little guy, I wonder why he hasn't popped out to join us yet. Is he trying to give us a one-on-one moment to hit it off? I should be grateful, but sitting this close to Seth is making my chest uncomfortably tight. His blue eyes are focused on me, like I'm the only thing in the world right now. And being this close with no task to distract has my own eyes wandering to the faint scar on his neck and the conspicuously missing portion of his right ear that I hadn't noticed before. Injuries caused by the same incident. You're staring a hole into me, Yinny. I hope you like what you see at least. Oh yeah, don't worry about that. I love what I see. On knowing how curious you are, you're wondering about this. He raises a finger to tap his ear, and I kick myself for being so obvious about my staring. It's fine, really. I'm as clueless about it as you are. When I was raised as a guardian, I already had these injuries. I guess something took a bite out of me in my previous life. You don't remember anything from your life before you were a guardian. It occurs to me how little I know about these vaunted protectors of mankind. Nope. Oh, that seems a bit sad. Haven't you ever wanted to know who you were before? The Vanguard strongly recommends guardians looking up their pasts. Being raised as a guardian is supposed to be a fresh start. I do wonder about my previous life sometimes. Who I am now is all that matters, ultimately. That's one way to look at it, I suppose. I'm not sure how I'd deal with it all myself. He takes a sip of his coffee, even though it's still heavily steaming. Must be nice to be able to insta-heal your mouth if you burn it like that. Me, meanwhile, I have to wait or blow on it. I can't drink hot things, I'm a baby. My mouth is too sensitive for that. I'm scared to burn my tongue. Seth chuckles at the sight of me blowing lightly on my coffee. As endearing as that is, I don't think it's very efficient. I have a more effective method. May I? I raise an eyebrow, carefully sliding my mug over to him. What's he planning to do? He touches the bottom half lightly with the pads of his fingers. And am I seeing things? A film of blue-tinted frost fractalizes on the outside of the mug from where his fingertips make contact. It's so brief, I might have missed it if I hadn't been watching carefully. The frost vanishes, and he slides the mug back to me, wordlessly, reveling in my surprised reaction. Stir it fast. I grab a stirring stick from the tray and do as he says, watching the coffee flow in spirals as I mix it. It looks the same, smells the same. It's just not steaming as much anymore. Is it safe to drink? I just cooled the outside base of the mug, so it's fine. I might get a talking to if the Vanguard finds out I used darkness powers to cool a mug of coffee, but what they don't know can't hurt them. Trusting his judgment, I warily take a small sip of the coffee. It's a touch cooler, but still warm enough to enjoy. If it's too cold, let me know, I can reheat it. You can do that! I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. It's not like I know all that much about Guardian powers. You've never seen a Guardian's powers. I take it you don't watch many Crucible matches. Those deathly matches between Guardians? No, not really. He holds his hand out to me, and I stare dumbly at his upturned palm for a moment. Your hand. Oh. Shyly place my hand over his. He chuckles as he gently closes his hand around mine, his thumb resting over top. What? So you flirt, but you still get embarrassed, huh? Hush, do the magic. His hand is softer than I expected, but it feels normal. Nothing unusual. It's gradual, but slowly I feel the increasing temperature of his palm below mine. It's too fast and too hot to just be skin-on-skin heat. No, this feels like his hand might get so hot, it would erupt into flames. Oh my god, does that mean if we're like doing it, he could just make himself feel hotter and it'll just be real nice? I'm so taken aback. I move to pull my hand away just in case, and he releases his grip. Sorry, too hot? I kept it relatively low. Well, let's just say I didn't realize you could be hot in so many ways. Okay, no, that was just terrible. Well, you've summoned Mr. Judgment. Where have you been? Do I look like I want to sit around and listen to you two flirt? There's only so much of this I can suffer through. Wrap it up soon, please. Don't mind him. Fall vanishes again with a heavy sigh. Kiss me, Cepheus. So, of all the places you've been to in the galaxy, what's your favorite? He furrows his brow at the question, slipping into deep thought. That's tough. Other than my bakery, of course. Really tough. Maybe the planet Nessus? Something about the green light of the atmosphere, filtering through red tree canopies, or just the tangled shore. It's just a bunch of asteroids haphazardly cabled together, but something about it feels comfortable to me. That's not the answer I expected. Sometimes the most mundane seeming places are the ones that are the most beautiful. Spoken by someone who can go anywhere he wants. Earth is boring, and I haven't seen the most of it. Have you always lived in the Lost City then? My whole life. My parents came here because our old settlement was too dangerous. It's still dangerous out there, but I have hope that we'll reclaim the planet someday. When that time comes, you might trade your bakery for any job you want out there. Still, I wish I could see it now, untouched and reclaimed by nature. I guess that would never happen, unless I become a guardian though. It's not a glamorous life, I assure you. Still, if I was one, what do you think I'd be? Well, based on your personality and the things you've said, I have a strong feeling that you'd be a hunter. I like playing hunter. And you did attempt to eat the risky cookie dough, which is a very hunter thing to do. Oh, you're very observant. That's kind of embarrassing, actually. Well, you interest me. Ooh, Cepheus. Making me nervous. They're just 4 harmless little words, but my stomach flutters at them anyway. It's been all fun and games so far, but it's almost sounded like he meant it that time. Why would he be interested in me, anyway? I'm just an ordinary human. He probably means it in some mundane way, like a scientist studying a subject. Yeah, that's gotta be it. Seth raises an eyebrow at my silence as he takes a sip of his coffee, and just when I start to think he's gonna say something, his eyes stray to the clock on the wall. It's this late already. I should really be heading out. I'm sure you're tired after such a long day. It's fine. I enjoyed it. So did I. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. At first, I thought 4 might just wordlessly leave, but he pauses. I can sense you're desperate for feedback, so good work today. Or whatever. 4 is so cute. I think he wanted to ask to hang out again sometime. But you might not get a chance tomorrow since you still have 2 recipes to get through. Don't fret though, you built a solid foundation. Thanks, Mr. Wingman. You're not so bad. Ugh. He's so expressive. He disappears without saying another word. Well, it's been a long day, but a fun one. I got to know a bit more about Seth, and if he's open to spending time together in the future, maybe this flirting between us could go somewhere. I'm a bit sad that our little cookie project will wrap up tomorrow. We've only known each other for a few days, but there's clearly a spark there. It fills me with cautious optimism. For now, I need to clean up here and head home. Well, hell, it's Friday. Just a moment, sir. When Seth and 4 arrive the next day, I've got my hands full at the register, and I'm simultaneously trying to sign for a shipment from the courier, waiting impatiently at the counter. I didn't expect the shipment to arrive right now, but I can't just leave all these boxes out here. Normally, I'd close up shop at the end of the day and move them, but I have no idea how I managed to help Seth with his last 2 cookie recipes while still having time to move everything. It's gonna be a long night. Seth must have noticed the troubled expression on my face, because he leans over the counter as soon as I'm finished with the current customer. Do you need these moved, Yinny? Just tell me where to. 4 and I can handle it. Oh, he's got a different sweater on today. My face lights up at the realization. That's right, they could do it in a blink of an eye, couldn't they? I grab the keys to the storage pantry and toss them to him. You're a lifesaver, Seth. It's the pantry in the kitchen. Don't mention it. I want a big, strong man to stay forever and help me take all my groceries in. It's funny, he's the one who came to me for help, but he ends up helping me. I wrap up with the customers and flip the shop sign to closed before wandering back to the kitchen. I haven't heard from Seth and 4, so I assume they had no difficulty finding the pantry. Sure enough, I find them lingering in the kitchen. Poking my head around the open pantry door, I find the boxes neatly stacked within, just near the entrance. I thought you might need to do inventory to make sure nothing was missing, so I didn't unpack them. That's perfect, it's already a big help that you moved them. Usually that takes me a while, especially if I'm the only one working. Now I can focus on helping you with these recipes without worrying about time. We've got 2 recipes to get through today, right? Yep. Seth passes me the remaining index cards. Bullet spray and Vex milk. Telemetry tapioca. Wait, does this say bullet spray? Listen, I'm gonna assume that's not literal. That's for the best. Vex milk. Vex milk? Oh, must be radiolaria. That looks right to me, but I raise an eyebrow at the way Seth's expression falls. You probably shouldn't handle that ingredient. It's liable to have some bad side effects on people if they have any physical contact with it, even guardians. And you brought this to my kitchen. It meant to poke light-hearted fun at this oversight, but I can tell he genuinely feels bad about it. It's safe enough once it's cooked in Eva's oven, or she wouldn't have included it as an ingredient. And I'll disinfect the kitchen at the end like usual. Wait, you've been doing that? I've been doing an extra disinfection pass myself, but I hadn't realized 4 could help. The Vanguard would lose it if they knew we exposed civilian property to these ingredients without adequate sanitation. I appreciate it anyway, 4. I'll handle this recipe then. The Radiolara, Vex milk should be similar enough to milk that I should be able to substitute it in the recipe. So why are Vex getting milked? 1 batch should work. Oh, do you want me to get started on the other recipe then? We can do that one together. You need to sort out your shipment, right? This will give you a break to work on that. Good idea, actually. Alright, if you're sure. I pick up the inventory data pad from the pantry shelf and set about taking stock of the new ingredient shipment while Seth handles the telemetry tapioca recipe. Sounds like you've been busy this dawning between your duties and delivering these cookies. Did you get a chance to enjoy the dawning festivities at least? His little mixing bowl and his little sweater. Not really, if I'm honest. Our coffee chat yesterday was the first chance I've had for a breather all week. Maybe tomorrow. What about you? Tomorrow's the last day of dawning. You saw how busy I was all week, so no, I haven't seen the festivities yet. There is a bird outside my window that's just screaming. We're closed tomorrow, so I'll probably come in during the morning just to clean out the front displays and, I don't know. He gives an acknowledging hum in response. It's silent for a moment until he speaks again. You are not spending the dawning with your family or friends. I haven't touched base with my friends in a long time, and family, well, I should, but I pause in the middle of writing down my next item on my datapad. If guardians are revived with no knowledge of their past life, don't they leave their families behind? You know, speaking of family, if things don't work out for you, Seth does have a brother. What did I say about mentioning that insufferable reprobate? Don't? Don't. I put down my datapad, distracted by how irritated Seth sounds at the mention of this mysterious brother of his. My sudden curiosity only seems to deepen his frown, and he sighs heavily. He's not someone I want to talk about, frankly. If I had to spend the dawning with him, it would feel like an exercise in torture, not some fluffy family bonding moment. I'm just surprised. Is your brother a civilian? He's a guardian too. To put it simply, you're better off not knowing him. Now I'm curious. I sincerely hope you never encounter him, though he does spend most of his time in the Lost City, so you may have the misfortune someday. I contemplate Seth's features for a moment, wondering how his brother might look. It never occurred to me that someone as easygoing as Seth would have people he dislikes being around. Maybe they had a falling out, or... He's obviously uncomfortable with my silent analysis, given the way he haphazardly shoves a cookie tray into the small oven and closes its door. That's enough of that. Don't worry. Eridanus may be gorgeous, but you've also got your own charms, that Yinny obviously likes. More gorgeous than Seth? That's hard to believe. Paul's right though. I'm sensing that he really doesn't want to discuss it anymore. I mercifully change the topic. You finished the telemetry tapioca cookies, right? So we can get started on the batter for the next batch. I pick up the last index card, and Seth visibly relaxes. Vanilla blades for shacks. Cacao oil and sharp flavor. Oh god. Sharp flavor, huh? That looks right. Whatever this is, it's sharp alright. It reminds me of thin shards of sugar glass. Vanilla blades is pretty vague, so I decide on vanilla sugar cookies. Is Lord Shax even gonna eat this? That man never takes his helmet off. It's the thought that counts. Seth retreats to clean up and disinfection with 4, while I begin combining the ingredients for the vanilla blades. The smell of fresh cookies waft through the kitchen from the tiny oven, and I enjoy the scent for a moment. Before I catch the faintest hint of burning, that can't be right. The timer would have... Seth? Did you set the oven timer? Shit, I got so heated in that argument about Eridanus, I turn off the oven and frantically look around for oven mitts, but they're not where I usually hang them. Seth is at my side in an instant, pulling open the oven door with zero hesitation. He grabs the heated tray, stifling a... No! His hand is burnt! Stifling a hiss of pain as he does so, and places it carefully on the cooling rack nearby. Seth, why did you do that? For a moment, I even forget he's a guardian. I'm so shocked by the blatant workplace health violation I just witnessed. 4 floats to him, emitting a soft yellow glow. Right before my eyes, Seth's hand heals like he never burned himself. Sorry to scare you like that, Yinny, but I couldn't let them burn because of my own stupidity. I'm fine, really. He holds his hand out to me for inspection, as if to prove his point. Geez, if you wanted an excuse to hold my hand, there are better ones. I'll keep that in mind. I carefully examine his hand, looking at his unscathed fingertips and unblemished palm. Not a single sign of a burn. Guardians are insane. I've been through worse, I assure you. Still, that was unpleasant to watch. Don't do that around me. He closes his hand around mine, intertwining our fingers. Oh, here we go. My breath hitches in my throat at the gesture. His blue eyes meet my gaze, and he offers me an apologetic frown. I promise, and I'm sorry. You can't tease me for eating the risky dough anymore now that I've seen you do that. He laughs at that, and I smile. Fine, we're even. As much as I enjoy holding his hand, I reluctantly let go. The small scare is over, and the telemetry tapioca cookies look mostly unscathed. Oh, they're cute! We pick out the best ones and decorate with some blue icing that Seth managed to whip up while I was taking inventory later. I'm glad we're able to salvage these, and she does so much for me that he deserves the best. My cat! Hello. Just one more recipe to go. We're making good time. I return to where I left off with the vanilla blades cookie batter. The sharp flavor breaks up easily and mixes with the rest of the dough, giving an almost sparkly sheen to it. I shape the dough into individual cookies and place them on the tray, which seems to have already cooled. Being sure to set the oven timer properly, I focus on just cleaning up now. The week has gone faster than I expected, that's for sure. I'd normally be looking forward to a restful weekend, but instead, I'm wondering when Seth will drop by next. It's not an exaggeration to say that I enjoy his company. Health violations aside, he's made a pretty decent employee too. And the flirting has been a lot of fun. The back and forth teasing, the brief opportunity to hold his hand, it's been exhilarating. I don't want it to end. Seth's voice snaps me out of my thoughts as he joins me at the table, having finished his dishwashing. Has 4 paid you yet? I'll get him the account details, but honestly, I hope you're not about to say don't worry about it. I refuse. You're getting paid. Alright. I grab the data pad from the pantry wall and navigate to the screen showing our account code. Paul's blue eye blinks, and I assume the transfer was instantaneous. It's 100,000 glimmer, if you're wondering. Seth is a rich boy, he can handle it. That's... no arguments. But... no. Oh god, this is kinda hot. Fine. Good. It's way too much, and he knows it. Still, I appreciate it. The oven timer goes off then. The sugar cookies, vanilla blades, came out well. They have a slightly crumbly texture and smell of vanilla and citrus thanks to the orange extract I included. Perfect. I really can't thank you enough, Yinny. You're more than welcome. I cast a furtive glance at the clock on the wall. We finish much later today, and I'm sure he'll want to get home soon. We package the cookies up and head to the front of the bakery. Kiss me, Cepheus. Seth pulls on his coat as I unlock the door, bracing myself for the onslaught of cold air. I hope you don't mind if I pop by from time to time. I want to say something like, I should hope so with all the flirting you've done, but the words don't materialize. So instead I just smile and opt for a tamer version. Grown attached to me, have you? He steps closer, closing the distance between us. I have. Though, I hope I haven't made a mistake in assuming it was mutual. What? No, yes, it's mutual. He relishes my reaction for a moment, his gaze lingering on my lips. Well, I'll see you soon then, Yinny. What, just like that? He opens the door wider and slips out with just a smile, Thor following behind with his usual judgmental expression. I close the door and lock it, my actions automated and my thoughts jumbled. I'm sure I'll be seeing him soon then. Yay! Finally, a reprieve from holiday retail hell. It might not be the best time to close up the bakery, but we all deserve at least one day off during the dawning. Well, I say that, and yet here I am, idly meandering around the shop, even though I finished unpacking all that stock an hour ago. I should at least go and visit my parents' house soon, if nothing else. Maybe a walk through the park to see the dawning decor before it gets taken down. There's a light tapping on the shop door, and it startles me out of my distracted planning. To my surprise, I see a familiar Awoken through the glass. I open the door with a bit more enthusiasm than I planned for, and temper my reaction so he doesn't notice just how glad I am to see him. Excuse me, sir, but the shop is closed. We'll be open next week. But I'm a terrible rude customer who needs to speak to your manager at once. May I come in? I smile as I move aside and he steps into the shop. He's so cute. Yesterday, I went home and did some baking on my own. You mentioned a few days ago that your favourite cookies were biscotti, so I made my own attempt at them. They're not going to be anywhere near as good as yours, but I did try my best to put my own spin on them. He was up all night meticulously making them. Thank you for the cookies, please. Oh my god, that's so cute! A tin of cookies materializes in front of me on the counter. The cookies are painstakingly arranged, and though they do look endearingly homemade, they look delicious too. Thank you, Sev. These look amazing. No weird ingredients? No weird ingredients. I take a bite out of one of the biscuits, enjoying the crunchy texture and the light drizzle of chocolate. Delicious. Are you sure you don't want to work here? Oh please, don't flatter me. I'm glad you like them though. That's not the only reason I came by. I told you I was free today and you mentioned that you didn't have any plans, so I thought maybe you'd like to come see the dawning display in the tower. They're pretty nice. Is this a date? If my heart could physically leap out of my chest, it would. Trust me. Is this you asking me out on a date? Did we not already have at least 3 dates this week already? You were heavily flirting with me. Oh my god. Then, by your own logic, we've clearly passed the threshold for a first kiss, right? Ugh. His hand rises up to gently trace the side of my face down to my jaw. His bright blue eyes are focused on my lips, even as a teasing smirk pulls of his own. I swallow heavily in anticipation, and he leans in slightly just to torture me further. The kiss is usually at the end of the first date, though. Houghton hope he takes pity on me. Look at him blush. That's cheating, you know. You can't just use your face to get your way. If that blush is any indication, I clearly can. Oh my god, I love him. My smug smile of victory must have been the final straw, because he pulls me to him in one sudden, wordless motion, pressing his lips to mine. His lips are soft and inviting, and I catch the scent of his cologne as he deepens the kiss, one hand cupping my cheek gently, the other resting at the small of my back. Oh my god. The moment feels infinite and too short all at once, and even as he breaks away, his eyes regard me with unspoken affection. I'm glad it was your bakery I wandered into, Yinny. It all feels like a dream, but so am I. Now, our date. Meet me outside in 5 minutes? I nod, all my words having escaped me from the time being. God, I love that. Oh, I really hope that we get another update where where we get to see the date with him. But the kiss was so cute. And he was so cute. It was such a really good, neat, cute visual novel, and I adored it so much. It's so impressive that the wonderful dev did this all by themselves. Like, all the art, the coding, the writing, everything. It's so cool. I love that so much. So, from what I can see here, from what I assume, there is an ending where you can just be friends with him. So if you choose the non-flirt options, but even if you do flirt with him, you can change your mind and just get the friendship ending, which I think is really, really cute, because not everybody plays these games solely just for romance. I really like that the MC was gender neutral as well, which is really important to me, because games with either pronoun options or a gender neutral MC is always like a big tick in my book, because I like the games that I recommend to be as inclusive as possible. But yeah, I adored this so much. The game is free to download off itch.io. I put the link in the description box below. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to catch the next video as well. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment box down below. And if you want to hang out outside of these videos, I stream on Twitch 4 times a week, so you are more than welcome to come and hang out with myself and my absolutely lovely community as well. We play games like Baldur's Gate, Stardew Valley, bunch of other visual novel dating sims. But until next time, take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and goodbye.